Georgia Fuddle, the Great Detective, Chapter 9, True Crime. "Why on earth are you dressed like that, Mum?" Georgia asked. "Don't snap," her mother told her. "It's the Metal Daisy Chain Fan Club's annual meeting in the church hall this afternoon, and we like to dress like Della Storm, the lead singer." "Sad old rocker," snorted Petrock, "dressing up like a dopey old pop singer." "We are not at all old," pointed out Reverend Fuddle. "Some fans are only in their 20s. "Can I come to the meeting this afternoon, Mum?" asked Georgia. "Yes, great," her mum replied. "You can come and listen to the tribute band." Later, when Georgia arrived at the church hall, she felt like she was in a strange dream. Most of the men were wearing the same outfit as her mum, the red t-shirt and black leather jacket, and quite a few of the women too, apart from the ones who were standing round the edge and looking a bit bored. The band was very loud and very rocky. A lot of people were jumping up and down, or twirling their hair, bent forwards with their heads downwards. Georgia didn't like the music or the dancing very much. She decided to go outside and get a bit of peace and quiet. The sun was shining, but there was a bit of a chill in the breeze now. So Georgia wandered through the gate in the wall into the churchyard and found a nice place to sit where she was sheltered by a gravestone and felt nice and warm. She was just nodding off to sleep when she heard, "Give me that purse now and you won't get hurt." Georgia got up quietly onto her knees and peeped round the edge of the gravestone. There was the same man who had bumped into her earlier. He was trying to take Mrs. Fly-by-Night's purse. Well, Mrs. Fly-by-Night was old and very nearly blind. She clutched her green mac about her in fear. "Hey, you!" shouted Georgia, and began running as hard as she could towards him. The man pushed Mrs. Fly-by-Night, who fell with a little cry, and he ran off in the direction of the church hall. Georgia stopped to help the old lady get back to her feet. Luckily, she'd landed on a soft piece of grass and wasn't a bit hurt. Once she knew Mrs. Fly-by-Night was all right, Georgia ran off to find her mum. She found her in the middle of the gyrating throng and explained what had just happened outside, and that she thought the thief was in the hall. Reverend Fuddle took Georgia onto the stage so that she could speak into the microphone, interrupting the song that the band was singing. It was suddenly very quiet, and everyone's ears were ringing a bit. As she got to the mic, Georgia saw the thief right in the middle of the crowd. "Catch that man there," she cried. "He's been stealing old ladies' purses all round the village." The thief got a look of panic on his face and tried to escape, but as he ran to the exit, he found his exit was blocked by another person in red and black. This was P.C. Carmel, the village policewoman. "You're nicked, son," said P.C. Carmel, because she'd heard the police say that on the telly and she thought it sounded good. Everyone backed away as she turned him round and pushed him up to the wall. She put the handcuffs on the thief and took him off to the police station. Only a few days later, Georgia and her family were at the police station too. So were Mrs. Perkins, Mrs. Fly-by-Night, Mr. Greenberg, P.C. Carmel and the Chief Inspector. She was pinning a medal onto Georgia's school blazer. Chief Inspector Withersmith was a large lady in a tight blue uniform with shiny silver buttons, and she wore an important-looking police cap. "Well done, Miss Fuddle," she boomed in a loud voice. "You caught Snatcher Grabbit, the notorious purse thief. We've been after him for a long time." It seemed that Snatcher Grabbit had learned to steal purses from his baby buggy, where he was just at the right height to pinch them in shops and supermarket. He'd had a long career of purse pinching ever since. Georgia blushed with pride as the medal was pinned to her, and she turned to face everyone else so they could admire it. They were all clapping loudly. Even Petrock looked a little proud of his sister. "You'll have to join us in the police force when you grow up," said P.C. Carmel. "I have enjoyed being a detective," admitted Georgia, "but I think I shall try some other jobs before I decide. Once they'd all celebrated with pop and sausage rolls, Georgia went home with her family for a good rest. After that, she went to the pond to see what her friend Cody was doing.